whistle. I love that musical. Right, let's chat as long as I can because my grandma will be coming home at some point and then I will probably stop chatting and I probably won't pick up the camera again. First of all, today has been, I don't even know how to describe the weather. When I woke up, it was grey and rainy and I was like, this is amazing. I've not felt rain for months. I mean, that's probably not true, but that's how it feels. And so initially I was gonna wear, my plan had been to wear leggings and a dress. And then this morning I was like, what if I go for jeans? And again, I don't think I've worn jeans for months. And I was so happy to wear jeans. That being said, I own 4 pairs of jeans, one of which is probably packed away somewhere because I've no idea where it is. One of which is on the small side and has been since I bought it 5 years ago or so, probably less, maybe less, I don't know. One of which is from Primark, and so not the best quality, and also sits, I quite like high-rise jeans, and sits a bit more mid, or maybe even mid to low, and so I'm not as comfortable in that one, and it's cheaper and thinner and just like not as good quality, obviously. And the 4th of which I am wearing today, which are my Zara, well, 3 out of my 4 jeans are Zara, but these are the Zara jeans I bought for Lapland. And I've worn like a fair amount since Lapland, which is quite good because I was worried when I was asked to buy black jeans that weren't skinny that I would just never wear them again. So very happy that I do still wear them, but these are too big. I've always had problems with jeans and I think that's quite a common thing, especially among females. I believe, I could be mistaken, but just that like jeans sizing is all over the place and people can't feel comfortable in their jeans. I could be wrong about that, but that's my experience, definitely. And so I did feel that today, that like, I'm not perfectly comfortable because it's too big. Although I do think it's better than feeling, oh, there we go. Hi. I was obviously talking about my jeans, I think, but I can't remember and I'm quite tired. It's not been that long since I stopped recording, but I am just tired and that's actually why I came on here and then I ended up blabbing on about jeans, so why? I went to work at one job this morning and then at 4:45, about half an hour before I was due to finish that job, I got a notification on my phone, which is, I have to say, one of the reasons I'm very grateful for having moved my diary onto my phone this year. And it said, you're going to your other job this evening. And I forgot about that. So I was like, oh, that's annoying because I was very ready to go home, to be honest, very ready to go home. And so I went on my way after work to my second job. And in my head, I was like, well, at least it's only 2 hours. Like I finish at 8, it's fine. And basically, as soon as I got into work, I was reminded that actually I'm in till 9. But it actually turned out to be a really good shift. I mean, obviously it was short, but I was working with lovely, lovely people and it just made the whole like energy so good and it made the time go fast and it was just really lovely. And there were some chocolates in the back. So it felt like a good, of all the things that could have happened, like all the different scenarios that shift could have played out, it was great. Like, I think it was probably the best possible scenario, except that our computers weren't functioning properly again, which was annoying. And right at the end of the shift, literally 10 minutes before I was due to leave, I had someone be very, very verbally abusive to me. And luckily there were a couple of other people there, not many, I think 2 or 3. And after about 5 minutes of verbal abuse, someone sort of stood up and was like, what are you doing? This is not her fault. Stop yelling at her, which I was incredibly grateful for. And then he sort of profusely apologized to me on behalf of the other person who had been throwing abuse at me. And it was probably the worst. I mean, I've done a lot of customers, and most of my jobs have been customer service, and this might be the worst I've ever experienced it. And like, I don't take it personally because I know it's not my fault, but being yelled at, and especially the way this man was yelling at me, it just is awful. And to be honest, he was with his wife. And when I see people like that out in the wild, I'm like, how, like, you are, look, I don't know their situation. I don't know how, maybe he's lovely to her. Maybe, you know, their relationship is different, but it does make me worried. I'm like, are you in a situation you need help getting out of it? Like, I do genuinely worry. Or even, you know, they might not realize, but anyway, I do worry about the other person. So yeah, that wasn't very fun. And as I say, like when the yelling was happening, I was kind of just okay with it because, you know, I'm used to it, unfortunately. Used to it, unfortunately. But it was when this other person stepped in and like properly had a go at this guy that I almost wanted to cry. I was like, wow, I needed this to stop and I needed someone to step in for me. And like, if he hadn't, it would have been fine. But I was thinking as it was happening, like, there are 2 or 3 other people here. And admittedly, I was, you know, somewhat protected because I was behind a desk, whereas the rest of them were all in the same space. And so maybe no one wanted to step in for that reason. But I was a bit like, are we all just going to let this happen? Because, like, I'm taking it here, and I'm, you know, trying not to fuel the fire. But what was so interesting to me was that it did not matter what I said, because half the time I was agreeing with what he said. And, you know, and then there were times where I was like, it's fine, you know, like, whatever, if that's how you feel. Obviously, I didn't say whatever because, you know, I'm still, I have my job. But I was like, no, that's, you know, if that's your opinion, that's fine. And it did not matter what he said, what I said, sorry. It fueled the fire. So that was very interesting. And I just, like, luckily, aside from my jobs, I've never been in situations like that. I've never had someone so angry. And I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very sorry if you are, and if you do need help, find help, get help, seek help. But anyway, it's probably like 10:15, 10:30ish, and maybe I'll watch a little bit of YouTube or something, but I think I'm gonna have an early night because I am very tired, as you can probably tell. And then tomorrow, usually I work one job on Fridays, but tomorrow it's been switched around, so I'm working my other job. And it means I've got slightly more of a sleep in. I've got like an extra, probably about an hour sleep in, which is nice, very nice. Potentially even more if I'm feeling brave, although I know myself. And I finish earlier, which I don't know if I'm happy about, to be honest. I like working, I enjoy working. But the thing I am most looking forward to is that tomorrow night, I think we'll probably finish quite early because my grandma, is still not very well. And I can't imagine us staying up super late. And Saturday morning, Shabbat, I can just sleep in. Not that I will, but I can. And I think I'll be needing that sleep in. But anyway, I'm gonna get into pajamas. All I wanted to say before about the jeans was just that I was very happy to be wearing jeans again. Oh, and the weather, that's what I was actually talking about. As I left the house, it was like spitting light rain, but not heavy. And I just had this and my rain jacket, but I wasn't actually wearing the rain jacket. It was just tied around my waist, and that was fine. And then obviously all day in the office, I was wearing this, and I was like, just not quite right temperature. Like, I think I was a little bit too warm, but I left it. I didn't put the air conditioning on because I didn't have any layers or anything. And then when I went to my second job, there is a bit of a walk on one end, and I did that walk, and it wasn't raining at that point, and it was so muggy and hot, and I was so like sticky. Like, it was just not a pleasant experience, and not what I wanted from grey, somewhat rainy, getting into autumn weather. Like, I was like, no, can we just have calls, please? And then even on the way home, I left and it was dark, which was already in and of itself, like, it was pitch black, which was amazing. And the sky looked incredible because it was like greyish, like, what's the word? Not clear, hazy. I'm tired, wow. And because of London, the light pollution makes it look kind of like orangey. So it looked perfect. It looked like perfect autumny or Halloweeny weather. Like, I loved that. But as a result, I did put on my jacket because I was like, oh, it's going to be cold, you know, now that the sun's, well, what sun? But it's going to be cold because it's nighttime. And it was not cold. It was actually, it felt like a summer's evening, which I don't mind. I do like summer evenings, but I like them in summer. I don't really like them when I'm expecting cold and rainy and wet. So, oh well. Anyway, blah, 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 blah is basically what this video is. And goodbye. Hello. I will talk about whatever else I want to talk about in a moment, but first of all, a few weeks ago, I don't know where to begin this story. My father's birthday is coming up, and it's also always very tied in to the Australian Father's Day. So very often we either try and combine gifts or, you know, try and sort out gifts around the same time. And this time, for once, we actually knew exactly what to get him because there was something he wanted. However, I am 98% of the time the sibling who texts into the group chat saying, have we thought about the upcoming birthday yet, or occasion, because we haven't spoken about it. And I just want to know if anyone is thinking about it. But my brother is the absolute king of giving gifts. So, and I'm the worst. I'm so bad at coming up with, you know, meaningful, original, nice, loving gifts. I'm happy to throw my money at it. It's one of the few things I'm willing to spend money on, but I find it really hard to come up with a good gift for people. So I'll be the one who sends in a message, usually about a month before the upcoming birthday or whatever, because I know, you know, we're all adults, we've all got lots of things on in our life, and then I sort of leave it to the rest of them to figure it out. So on this occasion, when I sent the message, sorry, there's a bug, but that's fine. I sent the message, and then they wrote back and said, this is actually what he told us he wants. And I said, that's brilliant, perfect. Have you already found it? Have you been able to acquire it? And they had, and it was perfect. But me being me, I was like, is that the best deal we can get on it? I feel like we can do better. Because whilst my brother may be the king of gift giving, I am the king of queen of finding the cheapest cost of something, the best discount, the best deal. So then it all fell into my hands, and as a result I also looked for a few other things and came up with a couple of other suggestions, because as I say, there were two different things we were trying to buy for and we actually only had one gift. So I said, could we also maybe get this, maybe like, you know, we can have it combined but also two different elements. And everyone loved that, which was so great because it's so rare for me to be the one who finds a good gift. So suffice it to say, in the end, it fell on me to not only buy the gifts, but also have them sent to me because the cheapest version was UK based. And then I'll need to take them with me when I go to Italy in a few weeks, which I'm a little bit nervous about because all I've got is a backpack. And I think I'm going to be very tight for space. I would have been fine if it wasn't for what I've bought. I'm not going to show you because that just feels wrong. It's not mine to show you. But they're bulkier than I think I was anticipating. I mean, when I booked the flights, I didn't think I'd be taking these with. But I picked them up. There was like an Amazon counter, which was amazing because it was so much cheaper to send it that way, which that was like another deal on top of the deal. I couldn't believe that. And it's basically where I get off if I take the tube home. So it's fine. Like, that was so easy. So I think I collected them last Friday. And then because my cousin's been here, I've not wanted to open them. It just felt a bit weird. Like, it's not for anyone except my father. And it's, you know, it doesn't feel fair that anyone should know about it before, you know, obviously we do, but also he does. So they've been hiding away under my bed. And I mean, my cousin left on Wednesday. I probably could have opened them before then, but as you may have gathered from the last videos, I have been very busy this week. So I was just like, shh. I was like, I'll wait. And so tonight, Shabbat's just ended. I thought, I wanna clear. I mean, I did so much clearing earlier. I just want to get rid of these last two elements and then I can, you know, properly be fresh. Also found out the cleaner's coming tomorrow, so hopefully she can find a way to get to the stuff under that bed, because I did manage to clear a few more things, but still not everything. And it's like every time I see it, because I do stretches and stuff on the floor and I can see it, I'm like, oh. So hopefully, I don't know if she will, but hopefully there can be something done about it. But anyway, I've just opened them and they are absolutely perfect. I think this might be the best gift. I mean, we'll have to wait to see his reaction, but I think this might be the best gift we've ever given anyone in the family. I think it is the most spot on gift, both aspects of it. And I'm so proud that I found the second one. I'm like, ooh, look at me go. So I just feel really good because I was nervous having them under my bed for a week. I was like, what if they're terrible and we need to send them back? What if they're like really, you know, like shoddy quality or whatever? And they seem to be absolutely perfect. I just really hope he appreciates and enjoys it as much joy as it's brought me. It's very rare for me to feel this sort of confident and happy about a gift I'm getting someone, because I'm usually so nervous because, again, I don't know what to get people usually. So anyway, bit of relief, bit of joy, you know, and now it's like, what, 2 weeks until I see it? Less than 2 weeks, so I'll be with him very soon. I mean, the packing I'm sure will show up in another vlog, and that's gonna be a struggle, but we'll make it work. I mean, I'm only going for, I think, 4 days, so we should be fine. But actually, I was gonna film today anyway, before I open those boxes, because I really love this dress. I've worn it a couple of times, not very often. The most recent time was when I did the wearing video, and that kind of reminded me to wear it this week. I was like, it's actually a really good Shabbat dress. You know, I need to wear something underneath. But aside from that, like, it really hits the box of like fancy, but not too fancy. And, you know, I wouldn't really be able to get away with it in shawl, only because I would need something to cover my elbows, or to my elbows. But I think aside from that, I'm fine. And I decided to pop in these earrings, which I actually made on the ship last year. They're obviously not perfectly even, because I made them on the ship last year with not the best quality stuff. but I did it, and I think I've worn them. This might be my second time wearing them since I made them on the ship, so probably about a year, which is not great. I have a lot of other red earrings that I prefer and that I think look better, but I thought there was something nice about, because I feel like plain red wouldn't really, or like solid red wouldn't really go with this, because the colours on there are more like orange or peachy. So I thought this would be good because it's got that sort of same like almost earthy kind of feel to it. It's a bit more not perfect, and it's got that naturey feel. So that's why I decided to put them in. And actually my grandma noticed them and said they were really lovely. So that was nice. And I've just felt really comfortable in this dress today, which is good, because this dress is, I spoke about this in my wearing video, it is too small. I don't have a lot of movement in my arms. Like I can't raise my arms above here. Or like unzipping my dress in a minute is actually going to be really hard, I imagine. So sometimes I do feel that like restrictive movement, but actually today, I mean, I even did some stretches, and maybe that wasn't a great idea to do stretches in a very restrictive dress, but I felt like I was able to do it and it felt fine. And I just felt very comfortable and happy to be wearing it. So that's good. I also had a whole set of probably about 9 to 12 earrings, I think, that my cousin bought and took 2 individual earrings out of to use as studs, but left the rest behind because she didn't want them, so she gave them to me. And as you know, I've got problems with having too much jewellery anyway, so I asked my sister if she wanted any, and she wants 3 pairs, which still leaves me with a lot. So then I was like, okay, I'll take out the 3 pairs that my sister wants, and I will like figure out what else I want to take to Australia, and then that's fine. But then I thought, and this was all during the day today, not the sister thing, but like taking out the earrings and figuring it out, because that's a Shabbat appropriate activity, I think. It was for me anyway. So then I thought, what if I just take all my earrings back to Australia and I can offer my sister some, because even though I've really enjoyed wearing them, there's very few I think I would dread to part with if I knew that they were going to her. There's a lot I would dread to part with if I knew that I was never seeing them again, but I think there would be some I'd be okay with giving to her. So I'm kind of thinking I could just bring all my jewellery, offer her some, and she can take whichever she wants, and if she doesn't want to take them I can keep them. But also I've still got loads of jewellery in Australia as well, so it gives me a chance just to rotate and have a look at what I've left behind, see if I want to swap any things, because I cannot take all my jewellery back. I know that because I am still living out of suitcases, and I'm hoping to move in January, and I don't know, I mean, the places I'm currently like looking at on the website I think are going to be maybe as big as this room, and that's it, because I really do want to have my own place. I don't want to be in a shared house, which means the budget is basically non-existent. So I definitely won't have the storage for, I mean, there's going to be so many things I'm not going to have the space for, and jewellery I really isn't a priority for me, and I can happily leave things in Australia. And I mean, there is one pair of earrings that I regretted not bringing, and that was only like 2 weeks ago, and that was for a self-tape, and that was literally the only time I've missed them, and the only set of earrings I've thought about missing. I mean, I can't even remember a lot of the earrings and other jewellery I've left in Australia. I think there is a necklace that I regret having left there, and I've regretted that a few times because it's quite a simple necklace, and usually my Magen David necklace would be my go-to for that, but I can't wear that very much anymore because of the world we live in, which is such fun. This is the thing, right? Like, you can have your opinions on Israel and Palestine and the war and everything. Baseline should be the war needs to stop, but the effect it's having, and I know it's not just for Jews, I'm sure it's also for Muslims, but the effect it's having on our day-to-day lives is crazy, is absolutely wild. Anyway, I've gone on a tangent there. It's just something that is annoying me, obviously. Annoying is the wrong word, but it's very upsetting. And I know I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people, most of the people I know, feel the same way. So anyway, that's fun. But it is now, I would gauge 9:30, I think. Let me check. Oh, 9:46. I was 16 minutes off. I'm gonna try and do some editing. I am working tomorrow morning, but I would like to do some editing if I can. I've got one video I would just like to get up, or done today. And then we'll see what time it is. We'll see what else I am, feeling up to. But I am gonna get into pajamas, and I am going to get ready to wind down. I need to figure out what I want to wear tomorrow, because I've already decided I would like to wear my green, you can see it there, green skirt and white leggings, because both of them, I have the equivalent of the chair of you've worn it once but not long enough. So both of those items need to be worn again before they could go in the wash, and I just want to clear the space a little bit. But I haven't picked out a top yet, because I need to know what the weather's going to be like. So I can actually check that now, because I did have an idea for a top, which is my Susical top, which I don't actually think I've worn with that skirt, at least not recently at all. But it's quite a thick top. I love it, it's so cozy, but it might not be perfect if it's, again, another humid day like it's been the last few days. Ooh, it's raining tomorrow. I mean, 40%, not a huge chance, but from 9 till 3, that's exactly when I'm working. Oh, that's nice. Although it's still 18, so like it's not gonna be, you know, cold weather. It's still gonna be, I'm still gonna feel it. I'll decide in the morning, I think. Thanks for chatting to me, or thanks for letting me chat at you. And I will see you shortly. Bye. Hello, something I forgot to mention in the last clip or last vlog, depending on when I've cut this. On Friday night, during the night, I was feeling absolutely fine all day Friday, and then during the night, I just had a really like scratchy throat, but not as in coughing or anything. I could just feel, it felt like it was, I don't know what the right word is, like razor blades, but it didn't feel that way necessarily when I talked, or as I say, I wasn't coughing or anything like that. I didn't feel like there was actually a problem, but it was just, I could feel there was something there. And I did get a little bit worried because my grandma, I think I've mentioned, has not been 100% for the last sort of week. And before that, my aunt who was staying here also wasn't feeling 100%. So I was just not looking forward to going down that path. And look, it's now Sunday, so it's only been like one full day and it's still there. It's not got worse, knock on wood, but it's also, there is a chance it will, you know? And it really disturbed my sleep. It wasn't like I couldn't breathe, which sometimes happens and actually did happen last night, but it was just uncomfortable. It just hurt. So all day yesterday, I was having lots of tea and honey and orange juice and zinc and iron, like taking everything I could to act, you know, preventative. And same again today, although I've not been as good today. I might have a glass of orange juice soon and maybe even a cup of tea. I had a delicious coffee today at work, which just really hit the spot for me because I was like, I want a hot drink, but I'm not really in the mood for tea. But I'm not a huge coffee drinker. So I went to the cafe where I work and I asked for a coffee. I think I asked for a cappuccino. Usually I get a latte, but I asked for a cappuccino. And I asked for it with caramel, but they didn't have any caramel. So I said, oh, can I have vanilla? And then I saw the hazelnut and I was like, oh, could I also have hazelnut? So I had like 2 sweetening things in it because I need sugar in my coffee, lots of sugar and lots of milk. I need my coffee to not taste like coffee. And the person who made it, she's lovely. I really like working with her. She just made a really like perfect cup of coffee, which for me is really difficult to achieve that. And I drank it at just the right temperature and it just felt so like the thickness of, because it was like frothed milk, the thickness of that against my throat was so nice, like so soothing. I think even better than tea. That being said, I do think I will have, well, definitely orange juice and probably a cup of tea later on. But there's something about cold orange juice as well against the throat that I find feels really good. And like maybe it's probably not so healthy, but it feels really good, like that sensation against the throat. So as I say, that has not been great, but so far, again, knock on wood, it's not got worse. It's just annoying. And obviously last night I really did notice I was struggling to breathe. And the annoying thing with that is I don't actually feel I've got a runny nose or a blocked nose or anything like that. But obviously when I was lying down, I did notice it. And then, you know, when you've got a blocked nose, you're breathing through your mouth, or you're, you know, that's what you feel like you have to do. But then if you've got a dry throat, like that just makes it worse. So yeah, anyway, not ideal, but we're managing for now. Hopefully we continue to manage. Today, on a separate note now, I went a little bit rogue with my outfit, very much inspired by the wearing week I did, where I wore the blue top with my green skirt and white leggings. And you can't really see it. I'm wearing my white leggings now, I'm wearing my green skirt now, and I wore this top, which I've never worn with my green skirt. And I think that's because I usually wear it with black leggings, although I do think it would work because it does have like black detailing. But I really like this combination. Actually, my top does have a little bit of green, although not a lot. But I feel like floral will often go well with green because green is like the grass. Maybe I'm being ridiculous, but that's how I feel. And then I went even more rogue and put these earrings in, which, as I mentioned I think it was in the wearing video, I really don't wear a lot, but I just thought I'm wearing a lot of white, and this again has that sort of whitey look to it. So I've quite liked it, and I could finally wear my Magen David necklace, which I've been complaining a lot about not being able to wear, but because this is quite a high neck, I can just hide it when I'm out and about, which again, it's ridiculous that I need to think about that, but it felt really comforting to be able to wear this today. On my way home, we've got a few charity shops. If I stop 2 stops earlier on the bus, then if I walk a different route, I can pass quite a number of charity shops, which is good. And surprisingly, they were all open. It's a Sunday, and I was just very lucky that they are all open. I think they were all open until 4, and I think I got home or got to the bus stop around 3:25, I would say, maybe past. And the thing for me is I don't want more clothes. I don't need more clothes, but I do feel I have a couple of gaps, and I feel like I don't know exactly what they are, but if I see them, I would know. So I try to sort of maybe once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, maybe once a month even. It's not that common that I do this, but I do try to take that other route and earlier bus stop to just have a look in charity shops, see if I get inspired, even if I can't find the exact thing I'm looking for or in my size or whatever. I at least get an idea of like, oh, I want this. So today I did that, and actually on Friday I did it, and I found a long skirt that I really felt iffy about. The thing that was kind of tempting me towards buying it was that the material was gorgeous. It was flowy, which I like, and it was long, which I thought I was looking for. I think I'm looking for, I don't know. And it fit really, really well. It was the style where it's sort of, I don't know what the words are because I don't know how fashion works, but it's non-stretchy at the front, but the back is stretchy. So you have some security, but also if you were to grow, there is that room. And even if you were to shrink, there is a room to still be able to wear it and fit it. And in general, I like stretchy, loose material. So on Friday, I sent a picture of it to my mum, and it was only £5. And the thing about charity shops as well is that I feel if I buy something there and I don't end up wearing it that much, it doesn't really matter because, I mean, obviously it's better to wear it, but at the end of the day, I've donated to a charity. So it's, you know, I don't feel as bad. Anyway, I sent a picture of this skirt to my mum and said, what do you think? Because basically the thing that was holding me back was the colour, and because it was like pinkish, orangey red, which is not really colours I wear a lot. She says, wearing sort of those kinds of colours. Yeah, it was kind of like this, but obviously a lot more patterned. And it was floral, totally covered, but the floral pattern, there's lots of different floral patterns, and this one felt a bit more old-fashioned and a little bit tableclothy. I don't know another way to describe it, but it didn't feel like something it wasn't something I would normally gravitate towards. But I find it really hard to like see that, because just because I'm not used to something on me doesn't mean it doesn't suit me or that, you know, it could look good. And my mum is great at being able to say that suits you, that doesn't, and being honest about it, which I love. So I sent her a picture of it and I said, what do you think? Because I gave all the explanations I've just given you. And she said, look, it might be a little bit old-fashioned, but it is, you know, flowy, which you like, and it could suit you, and it could be good for spring and summer. And, you know, if you want a long skirt, which I explained I wanted a long skirt for sure, this could do. And for £5 to a charity, you know, it could be okay. So I've been thinking about the skirt a lot today, wondering whether or not I should go back to get it. And I did go back into the charity shop and I did look at the skirt again, and I didn't take it. I think in part the problem is that I wouldn't really have many tops to go with it. I have one top that would be perfect for it, but again, not shul appropriate. Shul is synagogue, by the way. But aside from that, like maybe this top would go with it, but maybe that would be too patterned. Like I think it would need to be a plain top. And as I've mentioned before, I don't really like wearing plain stuff as my only layer. I use my plain stuff as an underlayer or an overlayer. So I didn't end up getting it. But if I'm still thinking about it, you know, this time next week, maybe I'll go back and get it if it's still there. But I did go into a lot of other charity shops and I did end up buying one thing, but I'm going to talk about that in another video, not a vlog. So you'll have to wait and see about that. And that was very much because I'd gone to the other charity shops and noticed this specific item and thought, if I can find one cheap and that fits, I'll get it. And actually I had seen one in one of the first shops I went into. It was a little bit small, but the colour was perfect. It was like light blue, but it had a massive stain here. And I was just like, I'm not doing that. Like it was cheap. I think it was £3, but I thought, no, not happening. And there was a really nice skirt, which was sort of knee length and was this gorgeous blue colour. And originally I wasn't going to take it, and it was in the same shop, but then when I saw this blue top, I thought, right, I'll take this skirt in as well to try on, and I could not get into it, so left that one behind. But I was glad that I was able to try it on rather than still be thinking about it, you know, now that I'm home, and be like, oh, I wonder if I should have gotten it. So I like looking at charity shops for inspiration and seeing if there is something, you know, being able to buy it, and if there's not, knowing what I'm looking for. There is one thing I saw in a sort of vintage shop, not necessarily a charity shop, a few weeks ago, maybe a week ago actually, and it was a set of dungarees, but like long jean dungarees. And I saw them in a charity or in a vintage shop for £15, and I was like, these look perfect. And then I saw that they were a kid's size 14, and I thought, maybe I could squeeze into that, but I'm not gonna try it. Especially because with jeans you have no give. So I just was like, no, we will leave that and try and find it somewhere else. So I feel like that's been my main focus as I've been going into these charity shops, is looking for not even just those dungarees, like I see a lot of my cousins wear Lucy and Yak dungarees, and I would love to own a pair, but I cannot afford Lucy and Yak. But if they're in a charity shop for half the price, yes please. So it's nice to just browse without the pressure of like, I need to buy something, and also knowing that like I am just trying to see what I feel I need. But then again, it's difficult because I know I have so much stuff in storage. I talk about this all the time. So anyway, I'm going around in circles, and this is a long vlog, so we will leave that. But that's all my thoughts about that. And now I'm home, and I'm probably going to be home alone for basically the rest of the evening and afternoon because my grandma's at a wedding, which is lovely. And at 7 o'clock, which is amazing timing, is the US Open men's finals. I watched the women's finals delayed yesterday, and now I am ready to watch the men's finals. But until then, I've got time to kill, which is nice. I do have a plan, a potential plan with a big question mark, and I'm gonna have to wait and see if I commit to it. This would be the perfect afternoon to do some singing, but we are not doing that for obvious reasons. Oh, one last thing. My hair today was being a disaster. It was just not liking me at all. So I put it up with a clip, which my clip, I'll take it out now actually. This is my very destroyed clip. We've gone from 6 down to 3. I don't know if you can see that, but it's done the trick all day. And I mean, now it looks like a mess, but it actually held my hair really nicely. So I was very happy and impressed with that. Anyway, that is all. I will see you in the next clip. Bye.
Hello, I've just come in. Very quick chat. All I want to say is I am actually obsessed with the outfit I've put together today. It's not something I've done before, and I love it. I'm wearing my boots, which I kept on for the video, but you can't even see, so what's the point? And I left this on, but it's very warm. But what I love about it is everything is navy. Everything is cohesive. I'm wearing navy leggings, green skirt, which is, you know, that's fine. Navy zip-up jumper, navy top, and I just feel good. I just feel good. My hair is in a plait as well, and it's like, it was such a mess this morning, so to have got it to a point where I feel it looks good, or relatively okay, makes me happy. I'm wearing these earrings, which maybe were the only like not ideal thing about today. I mean, they're fine, but they're just not, it wouldn't be my first choice necessarily, but I just wanted to, I just went for it. And I'm even wearing my Megan David necklace, which again was only possible because of the high neck. So I'm really happy about that, and I feel good. It's nice to feel good. That's all for now. I might see you later, but that's all I wanted to share just before I'm gonna get changed. So that's why I wanted to share it. Bye!